Oh God. This is great. This is great. This is terrible. Hi guys, I'm Chef Mimi. I'm here today in the Upper East Side to cook Eggs Benedict for you all. Typically I cook at Vinateria, which is in Harlem, but today I need to know whose kitchen is this?
Hi, I'm Shoshana and this is my kitchen. Only eggs have ever been cooked in it. The back burner is temperamental, so I've never used it, and when I've attempted to use it, it looks like it's going to explode. And be safe.
Solid. My first reaction upon opening the door was, this apartment is tiny. But in the same sense, I also knew in the back of my mind that it's all right because everything's workable. All right, well, you got water and alcohol. Good. It's small, but I knew we would be okay. First, I'm gonna make the biscuit dough. I see first thing here that we have a mason jar, which oh so perfectly has measurements on it, 1/4 of a cup of every flour. So I like to consider myself what I call a backyard baker. I like to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Having a mason jar to measure was not very precise, but it also just gave me kind of in the general direction of like, cool, this is about what I need. Baking powder. It's 1 teaspoon, so I'm just gonna know in the palm of my hand. Baking soda. The reason we have both is it's gonna help biscuits really kind of rise up. Salt's for 1/2 teaspoon. We got our sugar now. Butter, we're gonna use about 2.5 tablespoons. You always wanna make sure that your butter is very cold. You don't want it to melt. Your hands are perfectly fine to be your mixer. I had an ex-girlfriend who loved breakfast, so because of that, I've made biscuits probably over the course of 3 years, like 50 to 70 times. We're well on our way to making really great biscuits this morning. When I grip it, it's already starting to come together and I haven't even added any wet ingredients. Heavy cream. And I've got 1 egg. Whisk this together, mix a little in at a time. Now I'm just kneading the dough together. It's already at a consistency that I'm not gonna use any more of the liquid for fear that it's gonna make my batter too runny. I'm gonna set it in the fridge and let it rest. So you're probably wondering why I'm sitting on the floor. Well, this is the best possible workspace that we have. I can't say that I've ever worked on the floor in my 15-year career, but there is a first time for everything. Well, her floor is pretty clean. And I'm gonna casually dry our floor off here. Got some paper bags that I've just cut up quickly. We're all taped down. I found this bottle of tequila, and since we don't have a rolling pin, I'm gonna wrap it in some plastic just to keep it clean, so I don't like my tequila dirty. If you're feeling nervous, you should probably just go ahead and take a shot of this tequila before you even start. I don't have to roll too much. I'm just kind of looking for 1/2 inch. We're gonna need something to make the shape so we can actually have the biscuits itself. So we've got a mug, we have this cup. I've got a little mason jar here, and this is a perfect size because if you think about it, our egg will fit perfectly on top. With your extra dough, you can ball it up and do the same thing again. Kind of an ugly biscuit, and there we go. It's actually a great work surface down here. So next I'm gonna take the biscuits and I'm gonna place them on our toaster oven. Can't say I've ever used one of these before, but okay, yep, don't know what I'm doing. No, yes. So I've got it to like 375. It feels like it's ready now, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw them in, and we're gonna check them in like 10 minutes, see what we get. My biscuits are all done. I've got 2 sponges here, which is gonna be perfect actually to take them out. 2 dry sponges, not wet. Careful when you do this. I'm looking at the biscuits and I'm really happy with them. They smell delicious. They're perfect. Next, we're gonna make the Hollandaise sauce. I'm gonna need egg yolks and we're gonna need butter. And then the other things I'm gonna look for are an acid. Lemon juice is perfect, and also some peppercorn. A little bit of butter. I'm gonna microwave it at probably 30 seconds. All right, and that was about 8 tablespoons of butter. So now I'm gonna take my eggs and I'm gonna separate them. I think for me, I like using my hands best. 1 more. In here, I've got my 4 egg yolks. My lemon juice. Does anyone have a whisk here? No? A trusty fork here that we're gonna use. You know when it's ready to add the fat to the egg yolks? When I do this now, I can tell I can't hold in figure 8. It just means I have ways to go with whisking. While I start to do this, I'm gonna go ahead and put some water in my pot. And the point of this water is to not boil it, you wanna simmer it. While we do that, I'm gonna just keep whisking away, which might take a little longer since we don't have a whisk. This is definitely an arm workout. Ooh, I am breaking a little bit of a sweat right now. So since this is taking a long time and my wrist is getting tired, I'm gonna grab another fork. I can see my 8, which is what I'm looking for, So that's how you know you're ready. And then my pot of water over here is up now to a boil, so I'm gonna go ahead and just turn it down just a little bit. And the objective really of putting this over, you don't wanna fry the egg yolks. It's about lightly cooking them thoroughly all the way through. So I can also see now it's a really nice, thick, runny sauce. We're gonna go ahead then and slowly start to add our fat to it. A little bit of my butter and whisk really heavily, because this is the part where you really want these two ingredients to come together. And if you do a lot and then don't whisk quickly, well, they're not gonna come together. A little bit of fresh cracked pepper in there, and then also salt. Let's see what we got. Tastes really good. As soon as the hollandaise started to thicken up and I could see my figure 8, it was like the moment of relief in my mind. Like, all right, we're now on cruise control. We're gonna go ahead and start cooking our Canadian bacon. It smells like breakfast in here. And if you can hear that sound, that's the sound of awesome. And I'm gonna give them one more flip and then we're gonna go ahead and be done. Just set those aside and we're gonna start doing our poached eggs. Also, I'm gonna add a little bit of vinegar to the water, which helps the eggs come together. Maybe like 3 tablespoons. It's a trick like every restaurant I've ever worked in, they always use. I'm gonna probably poach 2 eggs at a time just to speed things up a little bit. Don't touch them until they've been in there and you can start to really see the egg white form, otherwise the yolk will break. See how they have a little bit of resistance, so I know they're cooked and runny still. I'm actually gonna take what I did call my ugly biscuits that I think are pretty. I'm gonna use my ugly biscuits for this. And then I'm gonna gently take my poached eggs again. So we're just gonna do a little bit of freshly cracked pepper on top. And that's it. I can't believe I pulled that off. The most frustrating part about this process was whisking the hollandaise sauce with no whisk. A little more muscle than I thought, but I feel good about that. It's a really good Eggs Benedict, if I do say so myself. Being a backyard baker in the end, it helped me out.